someone might ask you, get password. That'd be a funny little T-shirt, actually, for all of us nerds. But the other one I wanted to show you is get privilege set name. Now this is helpful too because I forget all this stuff, but I'll show you something with the get privilege set name because that's not just the account or the computer that the person's accessing or that they're logging into, but also the group of which that account is assigned. So let's take a look at all of this. Why do I keep doing that?
You just really want to build something.
I know. I think that's what the problem is. You can see how often I'm doing security in my files. So here are our default accounts. Of course, our guest account and our admin account. And we can add, anybody want to know what the maximum number of accounts are in a FileMaker file? Anybody want to guess?
There's a question.
Is that a question?
There's no maximum, actually. The stated amount is that you can add as many accounts as you like to FileMaker. But somewhere in there, and it's not a question on the exam, is some limitation, I'm sure, at like 1.5 billion or something where it gets a little ridiculous. So the idea is don't worry about accounts. People sometimes say, well, I don't want to give everybody an account because like this guy is a temp and he's just going to be here for a couple weeks or something. Or, you know, they leave for half the year and then come back later. Well, that's what this nice little active thing is. You can put as many accounts in there as you like and simply check when these things are active or not active. So you can have temporary ones in there or just your permanent accounts, but add as many as you'd like. There's absolutely no performance hit on your file if you have 1 million accounts set up.
So if you accidentally uncheck your admin account there, does it pose you when you close out and come back? Or do they maintain a default account?
It will tell you in what should be all caps. It'll say, hey, there's no active FileMaker accounts that use blah, 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 blah.
But if you click on OK there, you're screwed?
No, it just takes you back.
It just doesn't let you do anything. So you would be screwed, which is exactly why they've kindly put that feature in there for us.
Thank you.
The other feature that I've always liked, kind of got a kick out of, even in the old, how many of you guys remember the old, what was it, groups? And
yep.
Oh, Lord. I still don't think I understand that, to be honest with you. That strange grid, and you click on things. And
I don't think anyone does.
No, and I think that's why we have this. But one of the funnier things is when you close this dialog, and with the dialog still in the background, it's asking you to enter in the admin account and password, right? You'd think to yourself, well, that's silly. I can just see it in the background. Well, you can't necessarily see the password, but what they're trying to make sure there is that you haven't done some kind of thing where you've changed the password on the admin or even mistakenly and then get into the technical description of screwed in that case. So it seems silly that they're asking. I mean, I logged into this. Obviously, I had the admin password. Why are you asking me for it? Just want to make sure it's still the same before you leave this area, because that could be kind of problematic. And in that same case, it won't let you go any further. You can add new accounts to the system. It's probably the easiest thing to do here as far as decisions are concerned. You pick how the account is authenticated. I'm going to talk about external in a second. Inside of your list of accounts, you can have a mix of accounts that are authenticated by FileMaker versus accounts that are externally authenticated. Any one user can have more than one account in your list. What would be a scenario where that might make sense? Different roles, excellent example. How about one FileMaker authenticated account and one externally authenticated account, that type of thing? So then how does FileMaker know which one takes precedent over those two, if they have two accounts or three accounts?
This isn't the order that you put them in.
That is correct. So these little handles that you see here allow you to, well, if you have other accounts, of course, allow you to determine the order in which the accounts should take precedent. That is a piece of information that you can find useful someday. Not many options here, but account name and password. Which one of these two is case sensitive? Password. Account name is not case sensitive, which is good. Password is, though. So anybody still having to convert files from FP5s? What a nightmare, huh?
There you go.
It's a lucrative business, though. Waiting for another file format change itself. But one of the biggest problems that you get there is someone who's been entering in, you know, their cat's name Fluffy as their password for like 10 years, all of a sudden they go to put in their username and Fluffy again, and lo and behold, it's not working. The reason is because technically when that Fluffy was first entered in, it had a capital F, and case sensitivity didn't matter in FP5 files, but it suddenly does now. And so they're swearing to you it's the same password, but really you have to look at the case sensitivity there. So you know, be mindful of that, which can help make your your solutions more secure by doing combinations of upper and lowercase values. This is a helpful one. User must change password on next login. The reason for that is because we are the developers and we're putting these accounts in many cases, or maybe IT is doing it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we should know every single person's password that's using the system. So what you can do here is you can put in the account name, Bill Jones, and then password 1234, and check user must change password on next login.
Does that work if you don't put a password for?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, just leave blank if you want to. But they have to do something besides blank.
Right.
Or whatever you put in there. So they'll get a special dialog that they'll get prompted with that says, enter in the password, your first password, and then what's your new password.
Is there any way of enforcing some sort of rules for the password? Or is that only via external?
Yeah, well, external allows you to do that, but no, not within FileMaker. I'm trying to think if you were scripting it, you could probably do it. If you were scripting the account creation, you could then do it because you get your calculation dialog, which I'll show you those in a second. Right. So that's one way, but otherwise no. But you can prevent it from being blank by using blank as the one that needs to be changed. So then, after the user enters their own password, and then they say, I forgot my password. What do we do about that?
No, you just go in with an admin password and reset it.
Right. Many people say, many people think, I'll just go in with my admin password and just read it right off. But all you'll ever see is this. So you'll have to reset it for them. You'll have to come up with something new. So the expectation you want to set with folks is if you forget the password that you assigned, I can't retrieve it for you. You're going to have to use a new one. So use your other cat's name instead of Fluffy this time. Yeah, John?
Are you going to address password hacking tools?
No, I'm not, because you're filming me.
Oh, well.
What I can tell you is that they exist, and they exist. Actually. Allegedly.
Next.
Next,
what else?
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. If you're a friendly user of those things, they can really save your butt, right? I mean, you might have inherited something like, how many times you get a client that says, our developer left, he's in Costa Rica now, or something like that, and we don't know any of the passwords to this file, but we'd like you to take it over. We just have to figure this out. Do you know how to get into this? Technically, your answer should be no. I like to play nice with FileMaker myself, so I generally tell people no, but try Googling that once and just see what happens. And of course, if you do, you can find some things that will allow you to do so. Now, that is topical to this, what I was just going to mention here, actually. And FileMaker tried to address these types of hacks. There were hacks in the past where you could literally just run your FileMaker through hack. Or did you know that there was a version of FileMaker that if you force opened it in Word, that the password would be revealed right inside the text file? Honest to God. So things have gotten more sophisticated in the FileMaker world, and therefore some of these hacks or key applications that are out there don't work as elegantly as they used to. I believe some may allow you to get in, but not actually ever reveal what the password is.
Don't they damage the file by the actions they take?
What they actually do is they put little spiders inside your database that will not reveal their head for possibly years to come. So what they'll do is present little bugs that say nasty things to your clients when they open up your databases long after you're done working on it. So keep in mind that it's sort of like a Tourette's type bug. So if you want to be responsible for that, if you want that on your head, go ahead and use one of these hacks.
I won't use them. I won't use them. But
good.
My understanding is that on some level you're breaking a cookie jar in your you're gonna cause damage to the file, and you do not wanna put that in production.
No.
Or have any liability there.
Absolutely not. You are breaking the cookie
So I
jar.
don't-
I was gonna say probably the most popular